Eldest daughters have a habit of answering, "I'm okay," before anyone even finishes asking. Because if you fall apart too, who's supposed to hold everybody else together? So you keep remembering everybody's problems, everybody's appointments, everybody's emotions. And lately, you've been so tired that sometimes you sit in your car a few extra minutes before going inside, just to breathe where nobody needs anything from you. Being the eldest daughter can do something strange to you. You get so used to being needed that after a while, you don't even notice how tense your body is anymore. Like your shoulders are never really relaxed. Your mind is always remembering something. Somebody's bill, somebody's mood, somebody's problem. And even when nobody is talking to you, it still feels like somebody is waiting for something from you. So you become the dependable one. Not because you wanted to, you just figured out very early that stressing your family out more would only make things worse. So you learned how to swallow your own feelings quickly. And now you do this thing where people ask if you're okay, and you answer too fast. "Yeah, I'm good," almost automatically. But honestly, there are days you sit down to rest and can't even enjoy it because your brain immediately starts listing everything you haven't done yet. Sometimes you're washing dishes, replaying conversations in your head, wondering if everybody else is okay, wondering if you said the wrong thing, wondering how you became responsible for so much this young. And the weird part is, people praise you for it. They call you mature, strong, wise beyond your years. But nobody really talks about what it costs to become that kind of girl too early. Nobody talks about how hard it is to ask for help after years of being treated like the helper, or how sometimes you feel irritated by everyone needing you, then immediately feel guilty for even thinking that. And you carry that guilt quietly, like most things. And honestly, I don't think God is looking at you the same way people do, because people usually notice what you do for them first, how reliable you are, how calm you stay during problems, how you somehow always figure things out. But I think God notices the parts of this that are wearing you down too. Like how being the eldest daughter can make you feel needed all the time and lonely at the exact same time, which is such a confusing feeling, honestly. Because you love your family, you do. But sometimes you also get tired of being emotionally available every second. Then you feel bad for even thinking that because they're your family, and you know everybody is trying. It's just a lot sometimes. And I think God sees that whole messy mix of emotions, not just the cleaned up version of you. The version of you that's answering texts already mentally exhausted. The version of you that says, "It's okay, don't worry about me," then lays awake later thinking about 10 different things at once. Even the way you pray now is probably different than it used to be. Sometimes it's not even a full prayer anymore. Sometimes it's just you sitting there in silence, or saying, "God, I can't do this today," while driving or folding clothes or trying not to cry in a bathroom where nobody can hear you. And weirdly, I think He listens closely in those moments too. Not only when your words sound beautiful, not only when you feel strong. I really don't think you have to pretend with Him the way you've had to pretend with everybody else. There's a verse I kept thinking about while making this, and honestly, I almost skipped it because I didn't want this to sound like one of those videos that just throws Bible verses at tired women and calls it encouragement. Because when you're the eldest daughter, people quote "be strong" to you so often that after a while it just starts sounding like another responsibility. But this verse stayed in my mind anyway. Matthew 11:28. "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And maybe this sounds small, but I noticed Jesus used the word weary, not dramatic or broken, weary, like somebody who's still functioning, still answering calls, still helping people, still showing up to dinner, still remembering everybody's birthdays. Just tired in a way nobody around them fully notices anymore. I think a lot of eldest daughters live there for years. You get so used to being the dependable one that your stress starts looking normal to everybody, even to you. Like checking your phone the second you wake up because your brain already feels behind. Or sitting down for a minute, then immediately remembering 3 things other people need from you. Or being in a bad mood and not even knowing if you're actually angry or just overstimulated from constantly being needed. And sometimes I think the hardest part is that people genuinely appreciate you, but they also rely on you so much that nobody stops to ask what carrying all of this is doing to you emotionally. So you start telling yourself little things. It's fine. I'll rest later. They need me. And maybe they do need you. That's the thing. A lot of eldest daughters aren't imagining the pressure. People really are leaning on you, which is why you feel guilty getting tired in the first place. I don't think Jesus said that verse for people who have perfectly balanced lives. I think he said it for people whose minds are tired before the day even starts. People who are brushing their teeth already thinking about money, family problems, texts they forgot to answer. People who keep saying, "I got it," because asking for help feels awkward now. And maybe this is too specific, but some of you even struggle when people are kind to you. Like when somebody tells you to rest, part of you relaxes, and another part of you immediately starts thinking about what still needs to get done. That's not laziness. That's what happens when your brain gets used to carrying responsibility for too long. And I really don't think God is looking at you saying, "Why can't you handle more?" I think he sees how long you've been carrying things quietly. The pressure, the guilt, the mental lists running through your head at random times. Even the way you sometimes go silent when you're overwhelmed, instead of explaining what's wrong, because explaining it feels exhausting too. That verse feels important to me, because Jesus did not say, "Come to me once you finally hold everything together." He said, "Come tired," which means you do not have to hide your exhaustion from God to be loved. I need you to hear this, because I don't think anybody says it out loud enough to eldest daughters. People get very used to you handling things. So used to it that even when you're clearly overwhelmed, they still come to you first, still ask you to help, still assume you'll figure something out somehow. And after a while, you start doing this weird thing where you look completely fine on the outside, while quietly becoming irritated by everybody needing you, then feeling guilty for being irritated. So you push it down. You answer the call anyway, send the money anyway, talk somebody through their breakdown anyway. Then later you're sitting alone wondering why you suddenly feel so emotionally distant from everyone. And maybe the hardest part is, some of you don't even know what rest feels like anymore without guilt attached to it. You finally get a quiet moment, and instead of relaxing, you start remembering things. Who you forgot to reply to, what bill is coming up, whether your family is okay. Your body is sitting still, but your mind keeps moving. And I think being the strong one for too long can make you disappear a little without realizing it. Not physically, just emotionally. Like you become everybody else's support system and slowly stop checking in with yourself because there's always something louder demanding your attention first. And honestly, I don't even think a lot of eldest daughters want a huge rescue. Sometimes you just want somebody to notice that you're tired before you have to say it out loud. I don't know. I just suddenly feel like praying for the women listening to this who are tired in a way they haven't really admitted to anybody yet. Especially the eldest daughters who keep saying it's fine, because there's never really been space for them to fall apart. God, I don't even really know how to start this prayer properly. I keep thinking about the woman listening to this who's tired and still acting normal because people are used to her being the one that handles things. Especially the eldest dyers. The ones who answer, "I'm good," fast. Too fast, sometimes. The ones whose minds are already busy before they even get out of bed in the morning, thinking about family stuff, money stuff, who's upset, who needs help, all of it at once. And God, I think some of them are more overwhelmed than they let themselves admit. Like, they'll keep helping everybody all day, then finally sit down at night and suddenly feel irritated by everything, then feel bad for even being irritated. And I don't know, Lord. I just feel like a lot of them have been carrying things quietly for so long that nobody even notices anymore. It's just expected now. People expect them to be okay, to figure it out, to stay strong and calm and helpful. But some of these women are exhausted. Not lazy, not dramatic, just tired. Tired in that way where your body is sitting still, but your mind won't stop moving. And God, some of them haven't really rested in a long time. I mean, really rested, without guilt, without thinking about what still needs to get done while they're trying to relax. I pray you help them breathe a little, even tonight. Even if nothing around them changes immediately, I pray something inside them gets quieter for a moment. And God, I pray for the woman who feels guilty needing help herself now, because she's spent so much time being the helper. The woman who's always listening to everybody else vent, but honestly doesn't even know how to explain her own feelings anymore. Please be close to her tonight, because I think some of these women feel lonely in ways they don't say out loud. And Lord, teach her that resting is not failing, that needing comfort does not make her weak. And I don't know, God, I just hope tonight she feels a little less alone carrying all of this. Amen. Anyway, I just hope after this video you don't immediately go back to carrying everybody in your head again. Maybe drink some water, put your phone down for a few minutes, stop trying to solve everything tonight. It'll still be there tomorrow. And if you need somewhere to come back to when your mind gets loud again, you can stay here with me for another prayer.